In 1450, at the zenith of the Hundred Years' War between England and France, the southwestern part of England, Devon, was thrust onto the front line of the conflict. Renowned for its might and strategic acumen, the French army was advancing apace, while the local defenses were hard-pressed to repel them. Richard, the local lord of Devon, was confronted with a formidable task. Apart from fortifying the defenses of his domain, he was gravely concerned about the impending wheat harvest. The extensive fields of Devon were replete with golden wheat, ripe for the reaping. Nevertheless, with the French army drawing nearer, these precious crops were in jeopardy of being seized by the enemy. A group of sagacious elders from the community came to Richard with a sincere proposal. "My lord, the wheat is nearly ripe. We must act promptly before the French arrive. Let the villagers hasten to harvest it, irrespective of the landowner. Whoever harvests the wheat shall keep it. We cannot let the enemy profit from our toil." The local officials concurred, nodding in agreement. "The elders are correct, my lord. As the adage goes, an army marches on its belly." The French army has journeyed a great distance, and their supply lines must be severely strained. If we withhold our wheat from them, they will face shortages. In due course, without a stable food supply, they will be compelled to retreat. This could be our opportunity to drive them back. Notwithstanding the repeated entreaties from the elders and his officials, Richard declined to issue the order. A few days later, the French army swept through Devon like a tempest. Within 2 days, the once lush wheat fields were left barren. Many in the community were enraged. They held Richard accountable for not heeding their advice, thus allowing the enemy to plunder the fruits of their labor. News of this reached the powerful Duke of York in London. Seething with anger, the Duke dispatched a messenger to Devon to demand an explanation from Richard. Richard addressed the messenger calmly. "The loss of this year's wheat harvest is reckoned in the table, yet it is not the end of the world. Had I followed the advice and permitted the villagers to rush in and harvest the wheat haphazardly, it would have set a perilous precedent. Those who are indolent and disinclined to work hard throughout the year would have reaped the rewards without making any effort. This would merely foster a culture of laziness and avarice." As the messenger listened, his anger began to abate. Richard continued, "If I had ordered the hasty harvest, we might have salvaged some of the wheat. However, after the French left, those who profited from this chaos would start to wish for more enemy incursions. This would corrupt the very essence of our community. In fact, the quantity of wheat in Devon is but a drop in the ocean in relation to the strength of England. We will not become a stronger nation by saving this harvest, nor will we be weakened by losing it. It is far preferable to let the French take the wheat than to foster a culture of dishonesty and laziness. Please convey my thoughts to the Duke of York." As anticipated, when the Duke of York received the messenger's report, he was not only content with Richard's decision, but also rewarded him handsomely. Surrendering the wheat to the enemy was a palpable, short-term loss, but allowing the villagers to cultivate a mindset of easy gains would have been an intangible, long-term calamity. Once the door to dishonesty and laziness is opened, it requires far greater exertion to close it. In the delicate equilibrium between the tangible and the intangible, the short-term and the long-term, Richard made the right choice.